Yo, what's up? It's Noah, it's Sunday, and you're watching Ambiguity. So, this week we're talking about mental health. And, yeah, I just want to tell you a bit about my own story and mental health and some general things I'd like to say. So, let's get to it. One thing I want to say about my own mental health is that I was very ashamed of feeling the way I felt. And that has to do with being trans, but also feeling other things. And that has to do with the fact that I didn't want to be seen less than anybody else. And that's a shame, you know, because I think a lot of people think that way, and that's also part of the reason why mental health and talking about mental health is such a taboo. And I hope this will change, because God, we need to take care of ourselves, not just our bodies, but also our minds, because, you know, they're part of us, and just like you would go to a doctor, we should go to a psychologist. And it's not a weird thing, it's completely normal. Yeah, so that's like my experience with it, and I'm getting better at it, like accepting the fact that some things are just not okay, and that's okay. So yeah, that's what I want to say about my own mental health. I don't want to go into detail about anything, that's a bit too personal. So onto the trans stuff. So being trans and mental health, it's definitely a part of being trans. And there are some misconceptions, I think, floating around. That some people think that because you're depressed, or because you don't feel okay with yourself, or because you're not happy with yourself, whatever, that you think you are trans. And maybe that's the case for some people. I have never, ever seen or spoken to anybody that felt that way, but most of trans people are trans because they're born trans, and that's it. And they get depressed because they're trans, and that has to do with internalized transphobia or external transphobia, the fear of coming out, the fear of getting kicked out, the fear of not being accepted, the fear of being bullied, of whatever it is that society is doing. People get depressed about that, and that's completely normal. And it's not weird that the suicide rates of transgender people are one of the highest, or the highest. I should check my numbers, but it's insane. So please think before you speak, and don't say things like, oh, you just want to be boy because it's easy. Yes, of course it's easier, because people were meant to be born as a boy, but they weren't, so they're trans, you know what I mean? So please be kind and listen and love and support. Yeah, that's one thing I want to say. Another thing I want to say is that some people have said to me, like, oh, once you start taking hormones and get into surgery, you know, things will be really hard for you mentally. And I'm like, wait, then you don't get it, because it's hard now. I'm having a difficult time now. I'm dysphoric now. Being on hormones and getting top surgery will be a relief. It will change my life and let myself be, you know? And then I think, like, then you don't get what this feels like, you know? So that's another thing I want to say. I'm sorry, this got kind of sad, but yeah, that's how it is. So another thing I want to say, yeah, and just in general, like, we should talk about mental health more. It's such a taboo still, and God, I wish it was different. And we should make it different, because we have the power to do so. So yeah, that was it for this week. I hope to see you all next week. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, I love you. Ciao.